Hello, I'm back again with another video, and today I've been thinking about this. Why do I feel like shit all the time? So now I'm gonna tell you why you feel like shit all the time, because that's how I came to the conclusion why I probably feel like shit all the time. Now, listen, there's different components to this, and obviously mental illness exists, obviously, which is definitely there. But I want to focus more on the just general things that can probably contribute to developing certain mental illnesses, if anything, making them worse or just not helping us make feel better. So, I actually made a list for this video because I do not want to talk for this like 13 minutes like I always do. I want to actually keep it short this time so people may maybe actually watch it. The first one is rotting in bed. I'm gonna be honest here. How do you expect to feel good if you are literally rotting in bed the whole day? Like, it's not gonna help. Because the thing is, I think, like, we as humans are just meant to be in nature because we are, at the end of the day, we are still animals in some type of way. And nature is out there, and that's literally our default setting. Like, that's our natural, like, thing. Like, we should be in nature, bro. Like, and of course, like, if we're living in apartment blocks in like a city where there's concrete everywhere, there is not a tree in sight, obviously that's gonna make us feel probably worse. Even if we are happy, we would probably, I don't know, but nature definitely does do something to us, or at least to me, because every time I go outside from the city to where my sister lives in the countryside, in a house with nature, in a garden, suddenly I feel like a lot better. And the sun, obviously, the sun contributes a lot to the but like definitely just going outside and just going into somewhere where there's more trees, nature, and that can help a lot. Like, at least for me, that thing is definitely one of the reasons. Like, I feel like shit all the time because in my city here, like, when there's like no green things, like, I hate it. That's why in winter probably I'm also so depressed because there's like no trees anywhere, no green, no sun, nothing. Like, that really adds a lot to my personal depression, honestly speaking. Like, definitely when there's sun out and I'm at my sister's place with like the garden and shit, like, I'm literally living, like, I'm actually feeling good. So maybe, maybe that's just, it makes sense to me because I think that that's literally where we're supposed to be. Like, humans were not made for working in factories 12 hours a day, sitting in a room closed for, I don't know, 10 hours a day. Like, that's not what we're meant to do. Absolutely not. So, I think we should sometimes really look at history and how people have been living for years prior to that and to compare it to how we live now. And obviously, we cannot compare the feelings of people who lived at that time because we cannot know. But still, maybe like we should consider that, you know, this is a new way of living. I mean, pretty much from the Industrial Revolution since then, it's been kind of growing in like living in cities, just, slums developing, stuff like that. Like, that's a fairly new thing comparing to how, like, relative to how old our world is and how old humanity is. So, just saying, I wish I could make a video about this generally, just about this topic, about how the Industrial Revolution has, in my opinion, kind of ruined us and is probably going to kill us in the end. But moving on, I have doom scrolling. Obviously, this is a big part which I think all of us do. I myself do it. Like, I can't admit that. I can't, no, I mean, I have to admit that. I can't deny that. But I definitely think it adds to my just not feeling good because listen, every time I go to piano classes, and every time after piano class, no matter how shitty my day was, after piano class, I feel just so good, right? Like, so good. And then I start doom scrolling, and then suddenly I feel like shit. Obviously, there's a lot more factors contributing to this, and I am not reducing my depression to doom scrolling. But at the same time, I think definitely doom scrolling the whole day reduces your creativity because you just spend your whole day doom scrolling instead of actually doing something you like, which I am definitely a victim of this because I make music, right? Like I want to produce more music, I want to sing more, I want to make more music, but I literally can't. Why? Because I'm on Instagram the whole day, which I hate. Like I'm not proud of that. Like I wish I could break this habit immediately. If I could, I would. I mean, I've been getting it better with it, but there's always these times, sometimes I'm really good at this, that's exact the times where I'm not doom scrolling are exactly those times where I'm mostly out in nature with my family, with my friends, and the times where I'm feeling like shit, I'm rotting in bed, not socializing, distancing myself, and doom scrolling. So maybe there's a pattern, just saying. And I think that doom scrolling just kills creativity, and I think humans again need creativity. I mean, if you look at again, this is again referencing ancient civilizations because that's literally how my philosophy works. I just like to look at things that people have been doing for literally years and then just relating it to today. So, back in the days, people would to maybe, carve wood. I mean, music has been around for like what, forever. Painting, just things like that, or just also gardening. I mean, it can be an art form if you think about it, just making flowers in the garden look pretty beautiful. Like that's definitely a way of doing art. So just being creative, we are losing creativity, bro. Like literally we are. Or generally just thinking, planning, just things like that. Like I think that's something that we need to actually feel better as humans. Now, next on my list is socializing. And that is a big one because I think that definitely socializing does contribute to our feelings and how well we feel. And I feel drained a lot when I'm out with people. Like I need like a few days to recover. At the same time, it's when I'm with people I like, it's just so nice. I forget the things that I don't like, or I can talk about them, which is really important. But by socializing, I don't necessarily mean just online. I think just having this presence, like eye to eye, is just really important. That's why, I really like to call with people when I'm online, or, FaceTime is, I just love that because at least I can like see or hear the person immediately. And it's just harder for me to establish like a friendship or something online. Like I used to be able to do that because I literally did not have anybody in real life, but like now that I actually had some friends in real life, it just showed me that actually this in real life socialization is just contributes a lot to building relationships and just it definitely is different and is I think in a good way in a way, it's just different. You can I don't know, it's again like I'm relating this again to the countryside. I think like being in the countryside with other people, going hiking with other people. Oh my God, that's my dream. Like I need to do that. And just having fun, like also doing bullshit, like I don't know, doing like alcohol, whatever. Like I don't want to necessarily name substances because I don't necessarily want to get banned, but you know what I'm saying? Just having fun with friends is definitely like it's just I think that definitely is important to our health. Like I think that definitely adds to a lot. And that's my main points that I wanted to talk about because I don't want to make this video too long, as I said, but I think these are points that we should all consider. And, obviously we all know this, we like everyone is like, yeah, of course like I'm do scrolling, like I feel like ass, yeah. And I think most people are aware that these things are not necessarily good for them, but what I want to make is just the connection from how people used to do this already back in the like ancient days and how that's just a thing that just goes throughout humanity. Like that's just a characteristic of humans, and I think that's just something that we need to consider if we're talking about, well-being and health and stuff like that, because it's just yeah, like it's that actually helps me a lot, just accepting that I feel like shit and just making me realize why maybe in a way. And it does not like realizing these things doesn't necessarily like heal you or make you feel better. It's just when I realized these things, I actually understood myself better and why I feel this way. So I think maybe it helps someone, I hope that it does if anybody watches this video. But I just think that's something we need to talk about more, just generally how people have evolved and how certain lifestyles or certain yeah aspects of life are just a bit different nowadays. But they're still pretty much important because of the way that people have been doing them for years and stuff like that. So that's something that I wanted to talk about in this video, and I'm going to actually make music now. So bye bye.